On today's episode of How To's at Ear and Hearing, we'll be looking at how to replace the filters, domes, and batteries of your Phonak hearing aids. So if you're interested in learning these quick tips and much more, be sure to subscribe to the Ear and Hearing channel. So first of all, we're going to look at how to change the domes. Domes come in a number of sizes and shapes. Today we're going to be looking at the open dome variety as well as the vented dome. And the same techniques of insertion and removal can be used on almost all the domes. So starting with the open dome, you can see very clearly that there is a little lip here which hugs onto the receiver body. What you want to be doing is you want to be taking your fingernail, going under that piece of rubber and peeling up and over. As you can see, there's a ring of rubber there, and in order to insert it, you want to be facing the ring of rubber flat against you, placing the receiver into that hole at an angle and pressing it in. Moving on to the vented dome, this technique can be used for the vented dome, the double dome, and a few other varieties. This one's a bit harder to see, but you can still see that under that mushroom top there is that inner lip. You want to be again placing your fingernail under that lip and prying over. So once again, facing it flat to yourself, placing the receiver at an angle and pushing in. If you're having a bit of trouble getting this right, feel free to watch this video a few times. Alright, so once you remove any dome, you're going to need to change the wax filter. So the wax filter for Phonak comes in two varieties, the CeruShield and the CeruStop. If you're using a receiver like this from one of the newer generation hearing aids from the Malvern or the Paradise, you'll be using the CeruShield. If you're using an older hearing aid or a hearing aid mold like one of these, you may need to use a CeruStop. So starting off with the CeruShield, you can see that when they come out of the packet brand new, they're both flat. You want to be rotating in the direction of the arrows. And at the top you'll see a garbage bin with an empty slot, and at the bottom there's a little filter down number 2. That's the new filter. So you want to be taking your receiver and pressing it into that vacant slot up the top. You'll hear a click and pull straight out. You'll see that the filter has been dislodged. And you want to be placing your empty receiver into slot 2, click, and pulling that out. So you'll see that the new filter has been placed. Moving on, if you have an older hearing aid or hearing aid mold, you will have to use one of these CeruStops. And with the CeruStops, they come in a pack of 8. You want to be pulling one of them out. Be sure not to be too rough, otherwise they can fly off. And you want to be taking a good look at the orientation of your filter. With these, you want to be making sure that you don't twist or turn. If you do twist or turn, it can damage the filter holder and you will have to replace this whole assembly. So with this, you want to be pushing it in straight, pulling it out straight. You can see that now it's empty. There's no white filter in there anymore. And you want to be taking a brand new filter on the other end and pushing that in straight, pulling out again. Last of all, looking at charging and battery options, the Phonak Paradise and Malvern range both come in battery and rechargeable options. You can see those here. The one on the left is a battery operated one with a battery door at the bottom, like that. And the one on the right is rechargeable. So starting off with the battery operated one, you can see that at the bottom there is a little lip for you to pry open the battery door. Just put your fingernail there, push that through, or you can just put your thumb there and peel open. If you just got a brand new hearing aid, it may be a bit stiff for the first few times you do it, but after a little while it gets a bit looser. So after that, you want to be taking a pack of your batteries. The most common batteries are the 312 style batteries. popping open the door, popping out one of the batteries. The way I like to do it is to place the battery into the hearing aid with the sticker attached so that you always know that the sticker is pointing up and you can peel it off. Once you do that, it should be nice and smooth to close. If you're coming up against any resistance, a little bit of resistance is fine, but if you're really having to jam it in there, it may be because your hearing aid battery is in the wrong direction. If it's upside down with the rounded side up, it won't be able to close. And please do not force this door in any further because it can break the battery door and you will have to come back in. So remember, the battery has two sides, a flat one at the top, a round one at the bottom, and always to make sure that you have the flat side at the top and it goes in nice and smoothly. Alright, moving on to the rechargeable option. There are a few different hearing aid cases, but this is the one I use personally, the combi case. So with your rechargeable hearing aids, you'll be able to see that there are two small contacts at the bottom which do the charging. So if you look at the back of your hearing aid, your audiologist should have put a nice red and blue indicator on each of them, red for right, blue for left. Pop the red one into the red slot and pop the blue one into the blue slot. And after a few seconds, you'll see the light begins to blink. If it's blinking red, you'll know that it's really at a low charge. If it's blinking orange, it's in the process of charging up. And if it's blinking green, it's almost fully charged. And it'll be a solid green if it's fully charged. So once it's fully charged and you need to use it again, push up from the back and pop it out. If you pull it straight up, you will have a lot of resistance. So make sure that you pull forward and pull up. That's much easier. Let me try that again for the blue one. So pull forward and pull up. Thank you so much for watching this episode of How-Tos at Ear and Hearing. I really appreciate all your time. If you have any questions or queries, feel free to leave them down in the comments section below. We'll be answering every single one of them. And be sure to subscribe because we'll be releasing more videos like this on reviews, hearing health, and much more information.